true.
Well, Tony Stewart is a driver that will race just about anything, anywhere. That, however, caught up to him in August when he broke his leg during a weeknight sprint car race. In case you're unaware of how the events unfolded over the last month, here's a timeline of Tony's accident. On August 5th, Stewart suffered a broken leg after crashing at a sprint car race in Iowa. The three-time Cup Series champ was hospitalized for 6 days and underwent 2 operations to repair his leg. 2 days after the crash, Stewart-Haas racing director Greg Zipadelli announced that Tony Stewart would be sidelined indefinitely. Since then, Max Pappas, Austin Dillon, and Mark Martin have driven the 14 car. Martin will replace Smoke for 10 of the final 11 races this year. Austin Dillon is set to drive the 14 at Talladega. I sat down with Tony at his shop on Tuesday. Tony, it sounds like from what the doctors say, you're going to transition from recovery to the rehab phase. What is the biggest challenge the doctors have told you that you face to get ready for the Daytona 500 in February?
Well, it's actually a step of phases, actually. I mean, the injury had a lot of skin damage where the injury went through the skin and the bones went through. And so the first part of the process was actually getting the skin to heal before we do anything therapy-wise. We're just about through that phase, so the biggest thing is I've tried to stay focused in a very short time frame, so I'm not getting myself ahead of schedule and trying to do something that I'm not ready for and cause a setback. That's the biggest concern for me, is just not creating a setback for myself.
Great to hear also that you're going to be at Richmond this weekend, and as this race team tries to get Ryan Newman into the chase.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I have laid in bed long enough for me. I went from being the busiest driver in NASCAR to being on 4 jack stands in the bed and being parked. So, I want to be there to support them. I want to get back to the track. I want to be there with my guys and be there with Mark and Danica and Tony Gibson. And, part of therapy isn't all physical therapy. It's mental therapy, too, and just being able to get out of the house and being able to go and get back to the racetrack where I really want to be is, hopefully going to be a big step for that.
Tony, you were asked a lot of questions about the press conference that was here a week ago where your partner announced that Kurt Busch was coming in. And, it's funny, there was so much speculation about what happened, and you said, the funniest part was you said, I was the adult in the conversation. That was scary.
That was very alarming when I actually hung up the phone and was like, was I the adult there? And, but I think the world of Gene, and the great thing is, Gene has got such a great sense of humor that he's got a dry sense of humor. And if you don't know him that well, it's hard to know when he's joking and when he's not. But I love having him as a partner, and I love the fact that he's become so engaged in this team, and he did a great job. This was an opportunity that came up, that he saw in a conversation with Kurt, and he's the one that really made this happen, and that's something that for him to react and be able to put this together in such a short amount of time, it put a lot of us behind the 8 ball of how we're going to execute it.
Right, and that you said that was your concern, was the not bringing Kurt in, it was the logistics. Yeah. It was the nuts and bolts of how do we do it.
Yeah, it was how do we execute the plan of what Gene wants to do. So, Greg Zipadelli says we can do this, and, there's nobody I trust more than Zippy. So, when he said we can make this happen, we can do this, and it's not going to be fun, it's not going to be easy, but we can make this happen, then that's when I went from being, hey, can we push it back a year, to, okay, let's go hammer down 100%.
Tony Stewart looked great, Danielle. He got his first career Sprint Cup win at Richmond in September of 1999. Now, Mark Martin, we mentioned, subbing for Tony, he got his first career Sprint Cup top 10 at Richmond in 1981.